Hey YouTube, I'm back with you guessed it, another YouTube video. And so today I'm going to talk to the Christians, and I'm going to talk about my story again, my story with Christ, and everything that's happened. Before I start though, I'm basically going to just give a disclaimer and say, my story is not to bash anyone. It's not to bash the government. It's not to bash any political figures. It's not to bash my neighborhood. It's not to bash where I grew up. So this is not a bashing story. This is a testimony, because God said, when you become a Christian, you're supposed to give your testimony and you will be freed. So that was in Revelations, I believe. I'll see if I can find that. But yes, so you are supposed to tell your testimony and tell what God has done for you in your life, because sometimes people see you at the end, but they don't know your story and the things you've went through. And so because sometimes I forget things, I like to have a video diary. I have to write a lot of things down. And so that is part of my mental disability. I forget a lot. And so I'm not trying to bash anybody by telling my story. I'm just doing what was written in the Bible. And so a lot of people think that this is a white man's religion, but they were worshiping Yahweh, or Jehovah is what they call him. They was worshiping him in Egypt. So, this is not a white man's religion. And so I just want to explain a little bit more about my journey with Christ, my journey to find myself and to be a better person. And so basically, I just want to connect with the politicians and the people who do the laws changes to really help the youth and reach out to them so that they know they are loved and that there is another way. They don't have to continuously commit crimes for attention. They can actually just talk to the right people about the right things and say the right words. And they can ultimately get whatever they're wanting, within reason, obviously. And so we see a lot of young people chasing money. And most times when people chase money, they never really had anything. And so I'm not bashing them for chasing money. I mean, that is what they think will make them happy. But what a lot of millionaires have showed us before, that sometimes they'll unalive themselves and they have millions and billions of dollars. So money is not what you should be chasing. You should be chasing peace. And the only time you will get that type of inner peace is with Christ, because that, again, is one of his promises that's in the Bible, where you will have a peace that surpasses all understanding. And so as I began to do this Christian walk, I realized that you really cannot be a Christian the way he has said it in the Bible unless you have a community. You have to have people holding you accountable. You have to have people that are more knowledgeable than you. You have to have people who have done this for a long time to really see God in these scriptures. And so that's what I welcome everybody to just find a community. Some people call it a tribe, but the church is supposed to be a community. But as we see the church shifting, we see a lot of stuff going on in the church that's not proper and that's not relatable with the scriptures. And so, we see a lot of fighting amongst the brotherhood, and that should not be. God even speaks about that in the scriptures in the New Testament, that there should not be any fighting with your brother, but people continue to do that and wear the Christian label. And so we begin to just see a shift in the earth, and we begin to see a shift in the world. But I ask that we all come back to Christ and do Christianity as he's outlined in the New Testament, because that is the new covenant for us, and that is what we should be following daily. And so that was pretty much it. I'm going to show some more of my artwork and then we will be done. Okay. So this one is in my book that I was telling you about that you can purchase. It's called A Beautiful World of Abstract. And so this painting is called Building Blocks. And yes, I've sold that one. So I've pretty much sold all the paintings in my first book, with the exception of maybe one or two. And so that I have the meaning of building blocks. So this is the meaning of building blocks. But pretty much it's giving you the building blocks to be successful, which is create a goal, create a plan to complete the goal, have the right support group around you, now execute the plan for hard work and dedication, and never give up on your dream. And so that ties back into basically having a community around you who is geared to help you win and succeed in what you're trying to do, whether it's the Christian spiritual walk, whether it's a business goal, whether it's just community, you know, who you just want to be around because they think like you and act like you, and it's just a better feeling. And so that was it today on the Christian Corner. I'll see you next time. Bye.